old lady. Y'all, I really like, why can I not share the screen, y'all? Like, do anybody know how to work Zoom for real?
Okay. Are you on
your
laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. It should be on the, on the board? You don't see where, damn. Doesn't say share screen on there?
It's right in the middle. It's right in the middle.
Make sure you enable the audio too if you're showing a video.
Okay. Ooh, hold on. This is my mom, y'all. 1 second. Hey, beautiful. Where are your keys? Can you look upstairs in the key? Like I'm on a Zoom right now. I'm not sure completely. You can take my car if you want. My keys are in my room. They'll be in the drawer. I'm not sure. I haven't driven your car in a while. But if you want to, you can take my car. Oh no, but I had to put them in the drawer somewhere. Okay, peace. Okay, yeah, sorry. That's my very Capricorn mom. We love her. Hey, mommy. All right, so this is a resource that I found for the peoples. This does talk about what shadow work is in a way that I feel like many people can kind of like, resonate with it. So, and everybody, received information very differently. So some people like to read, some people like to hear it. So I'm gonna kind of summarize like what I pulled from this and what resonated for me, and then y'all can do the same as well. Maybe this is from betterup.com. Get into it. And it says the benefits of shadow work and how to use it in your journey. So the part that I really, really like the most is when they kind of broke down like, now, the peoples love to credit white psychologists and white scientists and shit, but this concept of like self-shadow, persona, hero, this can be found in many ancient texts and many ancient practices and many ancient spiritual sciences, okay? So from a lot of different cultures, from a lot of different people, there has always been a talk of like the multifaceted facets of the human, multifacets of the spirit. Carl Jung, popular white psychologist, people who, been in school, y'all probably know, he come in with the 8 different Jungian archetypes: self, shadow, anima, persona, hero. But all this basically says is we carry many masks. So to sum all of this up, we walk around with many different masks, okay? You got the trickster. And if you know anything about the African traditional spiritualities, you've always heard of this trickster spirit, right? So this is the spirit with the archetype of, you want something, I want something too. What's the trade-off? What you got to read between the lines. What is the fine print? Okay. You have the hero, which is in a lot of folklores, heroes in the story. These are the people that overcome, right? The phoenixes. You have the wise old man, like the sage, like the mystics, like the oracles, right? And then of course you have the shadow and the self. Or you could say ego. Y'all heard ego before. The white TikTok loves that shit, ego. But this all it does is reiterate the notion that we as people have many different masks. We carry it. I mean, I'm sure you can find it in the Bible somewhere too. And I know they talk about it, but don't get me to quote the Bible because I'm gonna be wrong. But this was really, really, really my favorite part because it talks about the effect of ignoring your shadow. So this is big, and we see this in ourselves. We see this in other people. We see this as a community, as a platform. We see it all over social media. We see it in our teens, in our parents, right? Like we see this. So the self-loathing and the poor self-esteem. We just saw like, ooh, I don't know why I just got such a, okay, spirit. I got a really like vivid example of the Miss America who like, committed suicide recently. I don't know why that example came up. I don't know what channeled that, but it's like the poor self-esteem narrative. We see that we see that daily, especially in the school system. I just remember being a teenager and it was just like so trendy to have poor self-esteem as a teenager. The self-deceit and deceiving others. Okay, Keela talked about that a little bit. Anxiety and depression. So people don't like to talk about that. because having anxiety and being depressed are things that we get very, very comfortable in saying and speaking all over our lives. But what we don't discuss as people enough is like anxiety and depression is a symptom. Okay, so there's a root, and we don't talk about where that root is and what that root is pressing on, right? So being depressed is not, we didn't come into this world, we weren't born depressed. So why am I depressed? What is making me so anxious? Why is it so hard to exist amongst others, exist in my own skin? And all of these things, you can always trace these back to a circumstance, a belief, a ideology sometimes, to a moment in time, to some kind of traumatic event. Like all of these things are tied to shadow, okay? So offensive behavior towards others. Toby talked about beating a motherfucker up. Okay, that's we in the shadow. When we pulling hair and shit, that's not coming from the archangels, okay? And that's okay too. But these are things that the effects of the shadow. Self-sabotage, baby. I could have, if you would have talked to me last year, honey, you should have wrote self-sabotage on my forehead. That's a big one, big one. So not feeling that you are enough and going to the point of like, let me prove to myself that I'm enough. Because I believe that so deeply in my bones, I am not going to get up and start. I am not going to allow this man to love me. I am not going to give love to this friend who is, very much available to me. I am not going to allow people to see me in my vulnerable states because I don't feel that I'm worthy of being accepted in my lowest. Like these are self-sabotage, and these stem from the shadow. And the shadow is really just trying to be like, hey sis, like I need you to come sit with me. Because if you don't, I'm gonna fuck shit up. And I'm fuck up all your friendships and all your relationships until you don't have nothing to sit with but me. And that's what the shadow is doing, okay? Self-absorption, Leo, inconsideracy, right? That's the shadow. Inflated ego. Why you gotta attack the Leo twice? Don't do that. Anywho. But it's like, y'all, these are things of the shadow. And it says when you reject your shadow, you may also start projecting onto others. But we all know that too well because we grew up with people with parents who were not doing shadow work. Okay, so everybody can feel that in some level. And these parts make us uncomfortable. And they make us uncomfortable because we are so used to being judged, right? So nobody's really used to being held accountable, but they're used to being punished. And so that makes us not want to go there. And it makes us not want to sit with ourselves. Ultimately, shadow work is working with the unconscious and the subconscious mind to uncover the parts of yourself that you repress and hide from yourself and others. And this is trauma work. So this is intimacy work. This is work that you can do with a licensed therapist, of course. And I do want to know, okay, everybody's not equipped to deal with their shadow on their own. And I really believe that. I don't know if that belief will change over time, but in this moment, I am a big advocate for getting help because some shit is really above you or below you. And some things we don't even remember, because the brain is an organ wired for familiarity and protection. So if something is super gonna knock you off your rockers and not allow you to function in a day-to-day way, your brain will suppress that shit and you won't even remember the trauma, so it's kind of like sometimes you do need to outsource. A lot of times you need to outsource, and I even think of like, y'all don't have to believe this, but even like certain zodiac signs, like I just really don't, like there's just a level that they can't tap into. And that's okay, because I don't think you were meant to, it's like, go to who is for you and who can help you, because we all came here with a cheat. It will not fall, or whatever you believe in. And that means that this is a marketplace. So what I have to offer you, you could probably benefit, and what you have to offer me, I can benefit, which is why I wasn't given that outfall, but you haven't. So, if you good at this, sis, be good at it with me. And maybe I'm good at something else, so never be afraid to be like, this is too much for me. I can't do this on my own. Please say that and know that and be rooted in that, and because the resources are here for everybody. Okay, period. And what is the goal of shadow work? Make sure I'm still on my time, chat. I'm still on good timing. Okay, yeah. So the goal of shadow work is acceptance and compassion. Yes, and this is what I was trying to explain to y'all, like, it's not a punishment, but it is going to be
That's
uncomfortable.
literally what I was gonna say.
Huh?
I was saying that's literally what I was gonna say, because I wanted to say this for like since the beginning. Like one of the ways that I personally go through a lot of shadow work is really just accepting the fact that things are the way that they are, and that like just continuing from that with the most positivity that you can like salvage, even if it's like a fucked up situation or anything like that. Like whatever you can salvage from that, and just almost like create from that. That's what I was gonna say earlier, but it's just funny that you brought that up. So
Right, because people sometimes, it's easy to lose sight of the goal when you're in the thick of the darkness, and when everything feels like it's crashing down. It's kind of like, why the fuck did I do this shit? I would have been better off going to down a bottle of Hennessy. Like, fuck this, like you get into those moments and you like, I should have ate a fucking double Big Mac. Fuck this. And I want to let y'all know, like, shadow work is not a linear journey. It is not an overnight quick fix, especially if you don't been pressing shit for like 35 plus years, 40 years, 20 years, 19 years. Like, it's not sometimes an overnight thing. And I think we all need to be reminded that it's not about perfection, but if we want to be better parents, if we want to be better lovers, if we want to be better people, if we want to accomplish our goals to the fullest, this is the required work. This is the exchange for your blessings. And because you see people who don't do the work, but they may get the blessings and they lose it, right? Or some karmic shit happens, and family get taken out. Like, you don't want to play. You want to do the assignment and do it well. At least it's how I feel. But I am Nigerian, so I don't know. That could be like some indoctrinated shit in me. But we want to do the assignment and we want to do it well. So just remember, like, shadow work is ultimately, it is love, and the goal is acceptance and compassion. And it's okay to take a step back from it if you are not feeling accepting, if you are not feeling compassionate, if it is, if it feels like it's too much. It's okay to take a step back. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon for sure. Okay, so y'all get the gist of it. Cool. Now that we kind of know like what this is, what we're talking about, I am going to lead us into a really, really, really quick breathwork ceremony. I don't know why to say ceremony, but I guess the spirits want to call it a ceremony. Because after this, we're going to do like a little mini reading. And so what may come up may be triggering. What comes up may be a little overwhelming. What comes up may be not something that you feel like you are in a state to receive right now. So the best time to get your nervous system, the best way to get your nervous system in a place to receive is breath work, or meditation, or like exercise, or whatever floats your boat. Stretching. Right now, for the purpose of this short workshop, I want to do like a quick breathing exercise. So this is called box breathing. Okay, and if you're in public, they might be looking at you weird, but who gives a fuck? Tell them to come sit down and do their shadow work with you, okay? If you're in public, it may be like weird to close your eyes and breathe slowly, but I want you to do it if you can, because it feels nice, and why not feel good? So I'm gonna start a little timer. But does anybody, real quick, does anybody have any questions? Is anybody not understand anything, or?
I did have a quick one real quick, actually.
Yeah.
So, do you think that there are some people, because you said there's some people who aren't meant to tap into certain aspects of themselves, basically, but do you think that sometimes they're supposed to work with entities that we may not think? Because like personally, I like to work with like the highest of entities, where it's like the most positive of entities if I'm going to do anything spiritual. But do you think there are some people who are meant to work with maybe darker entities because that's just a part of their chi? Because the same way that you kind of have like your lunar chi, would it be kind of like in that same instance? I did have a question about that.
Beautiful question. I love that question. And that's a more spiritual question, which is my domain, period. Okay, you always know the vibe. So for me, I feel as if, and this is kind of going more also along to what I believe in. I believe that you came here with everyone who you needed to accomplish what you needed. And if it was gonna be spiritual or physical. So if it was spiritual, I'm really big in like tapping into who wants to tap in with you. I mean, not who wants to, but who is supposed to tap in with you, who is a part of your spiritual team, who is a guide of yours. You know what I mean? Like because I know certain traditions do it differently. So I can't really speak on like Ifa, but I know that in the Ifa tradition, like I believe they have orishas that are given to them, or their divination is done and certain orishas are presented to them who they should work with. For others in the more Igbo sector, it's kind of like you are aware of, based on who you're from, based off your ancestors, what deity, what guide is beneficial for you as a person, and you with the chi that you have. For people who are not in a tradition, that's where it gets kind of muddy, because then it gets kind of like, well, I guess I'm gonna just go wherever I want to go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm gonna call on Aphrodite one day and fucking what's the people, the Greek gods? You know, it's like it gets a little like, okay, what are you doing, man?
Persephone.
Right. And it's like, did your ancestors want you to be talking to motherfucking Persephone, or did you just want to do that shit because you saw it? You know, I think that you should be really rooted into something, some type of truth that is for you. And then I think from there, you will kind of know if this deity is going to be beneficial on my mission. Because I know myself, and because I know my mission, I feel comfortable tapping in with this deity. I've gotten permission, I've gotten the green light. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's kind of like an order to it. But I think you asked me, like, do you believe that certain people should work with and should not? That is true too. But I also think that if there's a specific type of entity that you should be working with, you will know. And you will know it because you will know yourself, and you will know what your spirit brings to this world and what your spirit needs to accomplish what it needs to accomplish. So I hope that, because, you know, it's a big question, right? So it's kind of hard to make it very simple, but that's my take on it. So if you know yourself, you know who is for you and who is not, is how I'm gonna
I think you did a great job answering that, by the way.
Huh?
I think you did a great job answering that, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, because that's a big question, but that's where I'm coming from. If anybody want to chime into that question, feel free. I am about to start nobody told me you chiming in, because you chiming in.
Did you want me to chime in?
I just said, you looked at the camera when I said, does anybody want to chime in? So the floor is open, my love.
Since I just took a break from a little work. Basically, all that you said was correct. Some people, when we look at darkness, when we look at light, we have to understand that things aren't really a binary, right? It's more like a cycle. It's more like a conversation. So some people incarnate in this world to be more oriented towards the light side, right? Others incarnate to be more oriented towards the dark side. And when we look at light and dark, there's not really a bad connotation in it. Is it in balance, right? Because, you know, darkness isn't bad, light isn't always good, you know? So to answer your question, yes, some people are, you know, meant to work with those more darker energies, because darkness does represent the feminine, but it does represent the shadow, the things that are hidden, the things that we don't want to acknowledge. Like, you know, not everybody's coming here to be a trauma therapist. Not everybody's coming here to work with sexual assault survivors. You know, their spirits are more aligned to those darker energies, whether they're spiritual or not, right? But it does go back to what Ify said, like, you kind of have to know yourself before you do that. And not just know yourself, you need to know who you come from. So you need to know yourself, you need to know your ancestors, and then the rest will start clicking. Because you may feel more aligned to the darkness, but in this lifetime, because you're aligned to the darkness, you're meant to work with the light so that you can balance that out. So that's why you gotta know your ancestors.
I think that's a great point too. Y'all did great on explaining that through. Because like I'm trying to get personally out of the notion of seeing light and dark in such a finite way. So rather than it being just like you know, darkness is, you know, evil, or, you know, all these different notions that we've been made to believe. It's more so just like the hidden aspect of life. So that's why it's kind of like also when it comes to like entities and everything like that, and those who are, because mind you, I don't really believe in a lot of traits and adjectives that people have for different goddesses or gods in that instance, just because it's like they're used for different things at different times for different reasons. So like, that's just how I see it for the most part. But yeah, I do appreciate y'all's points on that, because it also helps me be like understand that light and dark are not just, they're not that. Like we have those words for them, but they're not.
Period. I like that conversation. That was great. Somebody need to hear that. Okay, hello. And that also, and that's how I also feel real quick. I know I need to really start, but I think that when I say like decolonizing our mind, getting out of that like religious dogma programming will really free the space to do shadow work and to do it in a way that is more accepting, you know, and loving. Because when you understand that, okay, just because I am peering into my darkness doesn't mean I'm, you know, a demon, you know, doesn't mean that I'm doing the worst thing in the world and I'm the worst person. Are you calling me? Hold on one second. Yes, I can. I am on a call. Nobody else. Let me ask my mom to call it. Hold on. Yeah, it's like I'm in interrupted today, chat. Hold on. You got it? Ooh, Lord. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for being patient with me, okay? Because clearly Spirit said, bitch, you're not gonna get perfection today. So just keep going. All right.
You're fine, love. It always comes off as perfect. You know, it's all good.
Okay. So yes. Anywho, yeah, y'all, let's do the work to decolonize our mind, get out of the dogma. Shadow work is not a bad thing, it's not an evil thing. Everybody should be doing it. Okay, everybody should be doing it. And the more we do it, the more we empower others around us to do it, and the more, you know, we kind of like change the world. Like just saying, look, we kind of like starting a relationship. Just saying. Okay, so y'all ready to do this breath work? Hope everybody is in a space where they can sit comfortably, breathe comfortably, get some full deep belly breaths. You can keep your camera on or not, it doesn't matter for this part, whatever makes you comfortable. And so box breathing, we are gonna breathe in for a count of 4. So you breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you're gonna hold for a count of 4, right? And then you're gonna breathe out for a count of 4. And then hold it again for a count of 4. So it's like you meeting 4 different angles. So you're gonna breathe in, hold, out, hold. Make sense? All right. So I'm gonna count us through that. So just to start, let's just do one single deep breath just to start. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna breathe in together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just get used to breathing. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now on the count of 3, I'm gonna usher us into box breathing. After I hit 3, I'm gonna start at 1, and you should start breathing in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Okay, how y'all feeling with that? All right. Give us a little serenade.
Girl, I was too relaxed. I'm driving. I was too relaxed. Shoot, I almost crashed. That's fine.
That's
Let me stop.
Same. Be
But still.
careful.
good. So you could always breathe. You can always breathe like that when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling overwhelmed. Just get to a space and just like that. And then, and especially if you kind of do out with your mouth open, that really like signals the rest of your body. It signals your nervous system to go into parasympathetic and just kind of calm. I'm gonna hit us with a little third eye salvo. I hope it's not gonna be too screechy because I am a little echoey, but Shay, okay. So yes, so this is the part where I'm gonna go into our collective moon messages. As I get my cards ready, I'm going to say my quick little prayer, okay? Because we don't do nothing without prayer. I want to once again thank everybody for coming here. Chineke Daalu, Chineke Daalu, Chineke Daalu, Chineke Daalu. Okay, I'm not gonna let you mark out my chi, my uncle, my mother, my woeful in this path. Thank you to everyone in here, collective in this space, virtually, and in this space physically. It's chi, Madu, more, fulfilling their path, crossing our paths. Thank you to the ancestors, the original ancestors, Indiegre and Dieche. Thanks to the ancestors of Bonnie. Thank you to the ancestors of Coco. Thank you to the ancestors of Edward. Thank you to the ancestors of Jocelyn. Thank you to the ancestors of Portia. Thank you to the ancestors of LJ, the ancestors of Chidi, and the ancestors of Aquila. Okay, may we all meet in this space in harmony with a pure spirit, a pure mind, a pure tongue, a pure heart, a pure mouth, pure hands. Give us the messages that are most needed for our transition, our transformation, our common good. Unwall, shine light on what is being hidden collectively. What do we all need to be aware of? What do we all need to know about ourselves? How can we all tap in more deeply? You do not mind your assistance on wall. Thank you to the water spirits of Embry, Ani, Ikupu, and the fire spirits that are near, the elementals, the gatekeepers that guard the spaces of liminality that allow us to open and channel. Use me as a vessel, as a conduit for the messages, for the truth, for love. And anything that is not love, that is not here for transformation, that is not here for growth, you are banished. You are not welcome into this space. You are not allowed. Okay. All right. Y'all ready? I'm going to start off.
Yes.
I heard it through the ethers first. I felt it first. All right. Ooh, cards is flying out, baby. Okay. First thing first I heard was you are not always going to be right. How can you lead with more compassion and less righteousness? How can you be more truthful and more honest instead of right, correct, righteous? Why are you so ungrateful? Why are you so accustomed to heartbreak? Do you see how you are more the heartbreaker? Are you really the victim? Are you the victim alone? Or are you also the perpetrator? Why do you abandon yourself? Why do you cast yourself away? Why do you ask for acceptance and isolate yourself? Why is what you are not enough? If nobody can tell you anything, why are you here? Let me get some clarifying messages from the goddesses. What is the shadow of the collective that we are not seeing? I'm hearing you will not do anything for too much longer. Collectively, there is an energy of victim. There's not enough hero. Like we saw the archetypes on the page, the hero. So collectively, we are not stepping into the hero bag. So we don't remember how we are the original alchemizers. And it kind of is giving like waiting for someone to save us and less stepping into our power. Let's see how at any given moment, we can decide to do differently. At any given moment, you can break the cycle. At any given moment, you can stop feeling sorry for yourself and step up to the plate. At any given moment, you can dig deeper and see how you are the cause and the reason. We got sacred lust in reverse.
I don't know if this is relevant, but
Hold
this
on.
just gave me deja vu.
Let me flow, please, and then we'll talk about it after, okay?
I'm sorry.
Thank you, it's okay. I'm gonna lose train of thought, sorry. I muted myself. We got speak up in reverse. So it's giving shut up. Okay, it's giving shut up. I'm hearing shut up and listen. Be more receptive. Okay, we got truth and it's clarifying the 3 of Swords. So it's much easier to just be heartbroken and do nothing about it than to see how it is a blessing that your heart is broken. So now you can rebuild and go the path of truth. It's kind of like the truth hurts, but it also sets you free. So, but self-sabotage is going to convince you that it's safer to be a victim. You've never been enough. That's why it's happening to you. That's why it's going to happen to you again. So make sure you keep inviting the same people into your space. Make sure that you just sit on your ass and you don't take any accountability so that we can feel this again, because we like heartbreak at this point. We are accustomed to pain. We get a thrill off of being the victim. And so self-sabotage is going to convince us that there was no bigger reason for this. There is no way I can see this coming. My intuition always fails me. I'm never enough. I'm not worth anything more than what I've experienced. Like that's what self-sabotage is doing for the collective. I'm just a victim to life and its circumstances. I don't play a role in it and I can't change anything. And the goddesses are like, really? Really though? And I'm hearing especially my women, from the goddesses, from women, I'm hearing especially my women. Yes, we've all been hurt. Yes, we all hurt. Yes, we've all been the victim. Yes, you know, they not shit sometimes. Yes, we've all been abused and misused, but damn, at this point, it's kind of like we get a thrill off of wearing the badge of honor. Yay, that nigga hurt me. Let me go join the hurt club and the hurt team. We just gonna sit around and talk about how much we're hurt and we're not gonna do shit about it. And then we're gonna jump at the next opportunity to get hurt again. What's the advice? What's the advice? Home. Stop searching for home outside of yourself. That's where we fuck up. That's the first red flag. If they convince you that where they're at is better than where you're at, that's not where you're supposed to be. Integration. Instead of just collecting knowledge, collecting wisdom, quote unquote, and I'm getting big emphasis on collecting wisdom, use it. Put it into your life. And then you'll really know if that information for you or not. It's giving like, because it came out on top of this Knight of Sword. So it's kind of like, you know, niggas love to just, you know, say they smart, say we know something. You know, we got something to say. We done found a fun fact and shit. You know, we're the sage now, we're the oracle now, but you don't implement nothing that you found. So not only do you not know if it's true for you, you don't use it anyway. And you stay the victim. You stay in self-sabotage, and now it's you versus the world. I'm getting, it's like an Igbo proverb, and it basically says, only through commitment will you find truthfulness. So if you're going to commit to knowledge and seeking knowledge, you need to commit to implementing it. More advice. Divine timing. Ooh. Divine timing. That goes back to the message about why are you so ungrateful? Do you not see how everything is in the works? Do you not see how you are not the same person who you were? Do you not see how every little breadcrumb is leading you somewhere? Do you not trust? You don't trust is what I just got. You don't trust. And changes. If we would get more comfortable with change as a collective, if we would really start to love and embody the frequency of change, we would be so much further. As people, as I'm hearing, as Black people, as African people, as whatever the fuck people, if we got comfortable with change, we would be a lot further. But see, fear of change tricks us out of our spot. It tricks us out of our power, and it keeps us limited and in a box, because nobody wants to change their persona. Nobody wants to change their habits. Nobody wants to change their friendships. Nobody wants to change their partners. It's just like, okay, fuck it, I'm in it, so let me just stay in it and be miserable. The divine is saying, get more comfortable with change. Do you not see how everything in nature changes? Even the seasons, even the animals, they shed skin. You know, some animals change partners, okay? Every mating season is a new dick. And sometimes, you know, that's what we, her take that with a grain of salt though. For somebody, it's take that with a grain of salt, but still, you know, change is okay. Change is okay. It really is. Change your hair, change your personality, change your looks, or don't, you know, like literally you are not trapped unless you deem that you are trapped. Let me get one last, because I brought out 4 decks. So we just, for the sake of completion, let me get some last minute messages from my animal totems. Come on, animal totems. What y'all want to say, wise ones? What's the tangled wishes? And get clear. That's another thing. Get clear on what you want, right? And I'm getting a very specific example. So it's like, you said you wanted a better partner. You said you wanted happiness. You said you wanted more money. You wanted more time on your hand. You wanted to become famous. You wanted to become all of these things. But when the job is snatched, when the nigga you found out you was fucking with cheating on you, when the friends show you who they are, it's like, oh my God, the world is over. But what if that's how your blessing is coming in? So what if you can't be famous working at Walmart? So they took Walmart. So they wanted you to get on path, right? Get more time on your hands to do what the fuck you really came here to do. But you crying about how you don't have a job no more. And so it's giving, like, do you know what you're asking for when you ask for it? If you are in a relationship, but you're saying to the universe how you're not getting treated correctly, how you want this family of your dreams, and then they snatch the relationship, why do you spend 6 months dwelling on the overlay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we get comfortable with change, we see how we're always being blessed. You don't like your living situation. You don't like your circumstances. So when you lose them, right, in order to get something new, because it's a give and a take, we get uncomfortable. We, oh my God, oh my God, like my household is changed. I don't have a house right now or something like it's like, y'all, what do you really want? What do you really want? And you have to be sometimes very clear on that. And you have to accept, like we were talking about light and dark, that it's a spectrum. It's a state of mind. It's just duality. And you sometimes have to lose things to gain something new. You sometimes have to journey through the dark to get to the light, but it's not punishment. And we have to see how we're always empowered beings. So if you ask for something, you are going to bring it in. Know that you're going to bring it in. How it comes in, it's not really up to you. Last card, Spirit. I got build your wings. Build your wings. So a lot of our parents didn't really set us up to leave the nest. So when we're asking for these different manifestations, you got to understand, like, it's going to be a process of initiation. And maybe your parents didn't initiate you, but God will. And sometimes it looks a little harsh, and it looks like, oh my God, I don't know, was I really ready to leave? Am I really ready to leave? Am I really ready to evolve as a person? Do I really want to, deprogram from these people? And it's like, you may have to part ways with some people. You may have to go through some hard things. You may have to become a person who you don't recognize, but it's not punishment. It's initiation. It's life process. There's an animal. What animal? Let's use leopard. Let's use leopard. Leopard, I think lions, most big cats, right, in the wild, wolves. So they have children, they create offspring, and for a long time, they're teaching their children the ways of the land, right? How to hunt, okay? How to, where not to go, how to camouflage. But then eventually, the wolf leaves. She's like, look, I gave you all I had. You figure it the fuck out like I did, okay? I gave you what you needed. You came here equipped. God gave you every muscle that you needed, every type of tooth, every skin, every fur to survive the wilderness. So use it and survive. Now, when it comes to humans, we've been indoctrinated to, like, I'm going to take care of you and I'm going to conceal you from the world, never change, stay my child, and, do the path that I told you to do. And then, we'll be great. And that's not what ends up happening, because we're the same as nature and we all have our own gifts and we all are meant to do different things. And God gave us things that are unique to us. So when we're praying to God about how we want to be different from our parents, how we want to step into our purpose, God is going to initiate you through the wilderness, push you out into the woods so that you will go and that you will see your own strength. You might have to meet a couple crazy motherfuckers so that you can learn and understand about your own craziness. It's still love. If you choose to see it that way, it's still on the path to where you want to go. And most importantly, soar. Keep dreaming. Think bigger. Think outside of the box. Spread your wings. Take off. I don't even know what animal this is. Forgot what it's called, but it's like a horse with wings. I think it's like a mystical creature, but we are mystical creatures, y'all. We are mystical creatures. Okay. That was the reading. I hope y'all edges are not too snatched. Mine are, but that's why I'm bald. So, y'all can't tell, okay? Yes, the ancestors came in strong, honey, with the words. I know somebody found something that they could resonate with. If you didn't, good fucking job. Teach us. Okay, thank you. Teach us your way. But so with that being said, that is how I have gone about shadow work. I personally use divination. Okay, I personally like divination. I've also invested and I worked with a one-on-one coach who knew something that I didn't. And that really allowed me to unpack. She really taught me about the nervous system and maneuvering trauma, and also combining spirituality in the sciences behind habits, neurons, patterns, complex PTSD. So me personally, I combine divination, spirit guides, my spiritual work with real one-on-one help, which is why I said don't be afraid to ask other people. If you feel that you don't have the resources to invest into a coach, I would ask you to rethink that, okay? Rephrase that. But also, the internet is wide and it is big, okay? So there are plenty of YouTube channels that break down CPTSD. It breaks down these triggers and how we maneuver as people. It breaks down the psychology, the why behind humans, and how to really understand yourself better. You can also get cards of your own. You can set a practice, you can root in a tradition of your own. And in a lot of those spaces have ways to navigate the self. You will find that the people before us, the ancestral tradition, is rooted in a lot of self-awareness, okay? And understanding life inside of you and life outside of you. Hold on, let me send y'all guys away. Y'all go back home. Thank you. Send everybody's ancestors and guides today. Give me a back and forth. Everybody is out here. Ooh, man, somebody is holding on. Y'all sending back gatekeeper, close my gates. Close my gates, close my gates. Thank you. Escort the peoples. Okay. My bad, y'all. As a medium, shit get real, okay? She was getting real. And I said, hold on, I didn't close my gate. Wait a minute. Because I personally have the gift of channeling, and so it's easy for me sometimes to be able to call on these forces that give me a different perspective, but I understand that everybody's not comfortable and haven't stepped into that bag. And so that's why I'm always saying, like, use what you got. If you know a neighborhood psychic, use them. Okay, period. If you know a medium, if you know your grandmother, that's good enough too. Put her on the altar. Sometimes grandma don't be doing it, but for real. And also, y'all, I'm gonna share with y'all journaling prompts that I love, because writing really allows us to get shit on paper and to see things in a perspective that we may have not seen before. I'm gonna share with you all this journal prompt. All y'all have my contact information. You can always ask for it. It was on Pinterest when I found it. Oh my God, what did I just do? What did I just do? Can y'all see? Okay, so this is a good one I really personally like. This is called Shadow Work Journaling Prompts. And you can just pick a number. You can do one a day. You can do one every night. You can do one once a week. But if you get in the habit of asking yourself these questions, right? Getting it on paper, sitting with it, crying about it, going back in time, visiting your inner child, this can bring you to a next level of clarity. Okay. So like, this is just really good to do. Not they quoted Jan Levin Zan. Think of a time someone broke your heart. Could you have been responsible? Could you have been responsible in some way as well? And that goes along with what came up in the reading. Like, am I really just the victim? That's all I play in this role? Or, is there more to it? And if we get comfortable asking ourselves these questions, who do you need to forgive yourself for? The shade, because I know these things are hard, and I know, just like the reading, it may have some shit be a little bit abrasive, but that's personally how I channel. And you could even find somebody who channels it in a different way, who gives it a little bit more finesse, in a more cutesy. But me personally, I like to go to the gutter, because I'm just like, fuck it, let's just bring it up. So you could find questions that maybe are not as deep, so you could work your way. You can work your way down. Okay. I also recommend that when you are doing shadow work, to be in a space where you do feel safe, where you can calm your nervous system. Okay. And I also recommend that after you do shadow work, after something big comes up, that you bathe with water, that you take a shower, that you wash your hair wash your hands, use the elements to cleanse you and to help you. You can go sit in nature, right? You can give your burdens to the earth because the earth holds things, transmutes things, takes shit and makes fruit, right? Like you can just how things are happening on the physical, they happen in the metaphysical and in the spiritual. So don't be afraid to use nature around you. Yes, and I think there was one more thing I wanted to bring to y'all's attention about where's my notebook? It may have been everything. If anybody else has, let me make sure I covered what I wanted to say. Yeah, so I said journal prompts, divination, the complex post-traumatic stress disorder resources, childhood trauma resources. They're on YouTube, they're on Google. Am I on Zoom still? Child, don't let me end it the live chat. I don't think I ended it. Can y'all hear me? Yes. Oh, okay. Y'all such an old lady. Like, y'all know my spirit is ancient. Because how did I lose everybody? Like, what? Woo child. So that was what I had. Now, and then I touched on working one-on-one. So I personally also had a coach along with myself. But I also wanted to present to you all the more in-depth offering of moon work. Okay, because like I said, everybody, like LJ, we were all talking about it, like everybody did not come here to just be able to courageously peer through their darkness, sit down and that's just boom, 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 bam, bam. Sometimes for people, it's a lot harder. It takes a lot more effort, or that's just not what your chi came here to do. But they sent you in during a time to where somebody else's chi would do it with you, okay? So that's where I wanted to share with y'all moon work. Okay, what moon work is, the breakdown of it, and why it is important. But let me find my notes. Okay, so I believe everybody can see this. This is my outline of moon work, my month-long intensive. Okay, so this is the 28 nights of an usher journey through your imposed darkness.
I can't see it. Sorry to interrupt you, but I can't see it.
Yeah, it's not sharing.
Okay, let me see. Screen is paused. Oh, it's paused, that's why. Okay, let me stop sharing it and then let me reshare it. Sorry, y'all. Oops, not this. Do that. Share. Okay, y'all can see it now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is moon work, my month-long intensive. So this is an offering crafted with the intention to heal what has been, has been broken and condemned for the way it has learned to survive. This is for those who yearn for intimacy with self in all areas of life. This is for those wanting to take accountability for their life. This is for the magicians and the priestesses. This is shadow work, okay? The game plan, this is, like I said, this is the 28 nights, but I really just use that because, lunar spirit AF, moon cycle, but really it's a month, okay? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, we are working. And day 31, we are also working. The first week, you receive my Moon Mystic in-depth reading, which was just kind of like what I just did, but more in-depth and longer. So we are bringing up what are the aspects that need to be shown on in the light. What is their nature and what, why do they need attention? That's that. And that after that first week, it's kind of like, just sit with it, right? Because like y'all just heard, like y'all just received, it's intense. And sometimes, it kind of it'll take you out for a second. It just makes you kind of need to reflect a little bit longer. That is that. And so for those next 7 days, you just receive and you watch and you play witness to what was said and how, with that newfound awareness, do you see it coming up in your life? Week 2 is our not in person, but virtual, I call it my intuitive advisory session, okay? We discuss the reading, we discuss what came up, what you realize, we can add to it. We can dissect it into parts, and then we craft the action plan. So what are our goals, our intentions, and what are going to be the rewards for the end of the journey? And more things. Week 3 is the second live intuitive advisory and accountability session. And that is a checkup. So are we doing the plan? Are we following it? Is it too hard? Do we need to break it down into more parts? Is it too much? What can we add to it? We also dive into the inner child during this section, because the inner child stores a lot of our truth, but it also stores a lot of our pain. And I will be checking in with you via text throughout that week as well. Week 4 is our last intuitive advisory and accountability session. And we identify the progress that has been made. And I find that by week 4, there has been a shift. There has been a major breakthrough, and something really, really starts to click, okay? You will see a change if you do implement what is given to you. You know, we reflect on it. Your toolkit is expanded. So during this journey, it's not just like you have one session and some, you know, exercises. Like, I give you a toolkit, right? I give you the channels and the videos that have helped me, the books that have helped me, the live conversations, you know, everything that you need to win, because I want you to win. And I know that this is not easy work. We're going to do a clearing ritual, because y'all know I'm witchy as fuck. And more check-ins. And you will spend that last week facing your commitments that you set in the beginning. Day 31 is the bonus reading, and this is what you can look forward to, what your ancestors are proud of you for, you know, the blessings that shower in now that you've released a lot. And yes, so some extras, soul type reading. I know y'all probably don't know what that is quite yet, but my cousin who is on here, Toby, offers that. And soul type is a beautiful, beautiful gift to treat yourself with after you do this journey, because it's like, you already know yourself, but now you finna know your motherfucking soul, and shit really clicks. Bonus offering for me. And if you live in Atlanta, we can also do your last session in person. And then all of my Love Circle community chats, all of my workshops, you're invited to. If it has a price tag to it, you're invited to it for free, period. Yes, and that offering is $444 or a payment plan of $222 every 2 weeks. Now, because y'all came here, I want to offer everyone who is interested, who can see themselves going on this journey. I will take I would take $100 off of that price, so it would be $333 instead of $444 for y'all today at this price. Yes, so let me stop sharing my screen and look at y'all again. That's new work. Because like I said, sometimes we are meant to do shit together. Sometimes we need help, you know? And I want to let y'all know what I'm offering, how I'm showing up, and how I am available to serve. But like I said, if you do not want to invest, if you don't want to do a journey with nobody else, if you want to tackle it by yourself, all kudos to you. And I send you so much love on your journey. Divination, resources, altars, traditions, do it all. Throw yourself into it, you know, sit with yourself. Sometimes just meditation is shadow work, okay? Because shit be coming up. But that is the workshop. That is everything. I will be putting my Cashapp below this if y'all want to pour into the exchange, if y'all enjoyed yourselves, if y'all want to love on me even further. I'm always open to receive, okay, period, shit. But that is the workshop. Anybody who has anything to say, want to talk about what came up in the reading, want to talk about what you learned, what you liked, what you didn't like, questions, the floor is open. And if not, thank you for being here.
Thank you for the most part. Appreciate it overall. And just thanks for taking the time out to enlighten people about things like this and certain subject matters that are very important. Just an all-encompassing thank you for that, basically.
I felt that in my whole spirit, baby. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem at all.
I said, I second what LJ said. Definitely.
Hey,
Thank
I love y'all.
Thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate it being here.
Yes. Thank you for sending the invite. I'm so glad I tapped in. Thank you so much.
Baby
You,
girl,
you
I'm
babe.
forever grateful for you. This was really amazing, and I definitely want to do this service, but we'll talk more off screen. But thank you for this offering. I'm about to send you something on Cashapp.
And I for real, y'all, like it means a lot to me for y'all to be here because like everything aside, like this is the work that is really not being done enough and it's not talked about enough. And it shows in our community, it shows in our, you know, in our households, in our relationship dynamics, like you see where we're not doing the work. And so that's why I just like, just for tuning in, just for listening, like it sparks something, you know, whether you do it or don't, you are aware of it now. And so your life is always going to be different. And I just wish y'all, and I send y'all so much love on this journey. Y'all are all amazing. Y'all are all perfect. Y'all don't need to be fixed, but you just, you know, need some intention. Okay.
Mm.
Thank you. Oh. Did you say something, Jocelyn?
Well, I said thank you, and I have something to tell you off the call. It's yeah.
Yeah, right now. Keep hot, blow up my hotline. Period. Period. But that's it, y'all. If everybody's okay, y'all can go. I don't want to hang up, but y'all hang up because I have the tech issues.
Everyone.
Love you, Bonnie. Thank you for being here.
Good night.
Thank you. Y'all have a great night, okay?
Good night.
Thank you, Ify.
Thank you.
I can't wait to do moon work with you.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It really will. Thank you.
I love you. Peace.
I love you.
You know, on this damn chat all day. I think so. Maybe it said used to be.
My bad. I thought this thing hung up. My bad.
Look, I'm like, hey, you still hear me, friend?
Wait, say what?
You can hear me?
I can hear you. This thing, I'm still driving and stuff, so it's just all over the place, but I heard everything, so.
I was like, oh, look at my friend still on the chat with me. Not Akila's still here too, Chad.
You know we gonna be here to the end.
Period. Here. I'm thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed.
No, for real, thank you for having us. It was very enlightening and like also it just kind of tapped on a lot of the things that I already kind of like felt like I needed maybe like a refresher on. But like just to know that internally that I was doing it right. You know what I mean?
For sure. Big for sure. Empathy. And I think that's how, you know, resonance is supposed to work. Like I'm not telling you shouldn't know. You know, it shouldn't already know in some type of capacity. If I am,
Right.
Well, we got problems.
Right.
Wrong space, okay?
Literally. But thank you for real so much. I'm about to probably turn in a minute, but literally, I can't wait for the next one. Just let me know. And I'm gonna try to get into that overall workshop. I'm not gonna lie, my finances are not always the best at the moment, but I'm speaking into, you know, the better aspect of it, making sure that everything's coming in and I'm receiving so like I can, you know, do all that. But yeah.
And you know what? I was thinking about you when I was talking about soul type. That's the reading my cousin does. Like LJ, like whenever, like you should really, like I really think you should get that done. I think you would love the soul type reading. It would, I feel like it, like intuitively, I just feel like it would make so much, like shit would really piece together.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'm gonna look into that for him too, because like it's funny because like I feel like I would know my soul before myself for me personally, and it's like I've always had like that kind of instance. So like I would love to see what he has to say regarding that though, just so I know if my trajectory is on the same path.
Mm-hmm. Because it's really like, it's like, you know, we know, like of course we know ourselves, or at least you know we do the work to get more familiar. But what it brings almost like an archetype that I would have never thought of. Like he did a soul type on of one of my aunts, and she is the soul type of like like the stream of psychic energy. And that's
Oh wow.
But then when he breaks it down and he talks about like, because of this is your soul type, how it manifests, the good karma that you come in with, the shadow side of the karma that you may end up, it makes sense.
Right.
And it's just like, would have never thought that. Like, would have
Right. Like, what are you beyond this form and what you are beyond this lifetime and karmically, and you know.
Exactly. And I was just like, wow, bitch, that shit is above me. But anyway.
I would love to do that with him, man. That would actually be very interesting because I feel like, yeah, I just want to do that with him. I want to see what he has to say.
Yeah, no, it's fucking, and you know, I'm not gonna recommend no shit that I'm not like, but no.
Oh, I know you don't, girl. I know.
That shit.
You know, I know.
Okay, come on.
Right.
No, hell no.
Come on now, like.
The people do sometimes be recommended any fucking thing, and
Well, just let me know, literally, and if you're free or anything like that too, just let me know if you want to kick it or anything like that too.
oh yeah, y'all know I've been in my hermit mode. This is why though, Spirit been preparing me to step up like this more.
No, it's beautiful. I'm telling you, like, I love this. Like, so just keep up the great work, actually, and just like, you know, I'm gonna need my little me time though. I will say that, but.
Yeah. And I really had to get comfortable like balancing, you know, this awareness of like, because I'm a lunar spirit, how a bitch do be, you know, in the shadows for a little bit. But also,
Yeah, I feel it.
You know, but being completely aware of when it becomes emotionally unavailable, you know, when it becomes
Right.
separation and isolation and balancing the two. So I feel that.
I respect it, honestly, because like that's one of the things I probably have a difficult time with personally. So seeing other people, you know, live that out is actually pretty reassuring because it's like, okay, it's just like, it reminds me that it's okay. You know what I mean? So.
And it is, as long as you are aware of it, it is okay. That's how I feel. I think it's when we're operating from a place of like, oh, we just doing shit because this is just what we don't give a fuck about how it comes across and who impacts, you know, that's a different vibration for sure.
Right, absolutely.
And communication, you know, I did tell y'all, I told.
Absolutely.
And that's what niggas don't do enough. Communicate.
Yeah, or communicate honestly, you know, and you know, with intent.
Yeah, for real. So, okay, Kat, you know we can talk all night. You know.
I know. Let me get off this phone.
I love you. I love you.
Love you too. You know that always. Just let me know what's your itinerary, if possible. If not, it's all okay. But just let me know.
Sure. September, I'm gonna be outside, y'all, for real.
Okay, cool. That's tomorrow, girl. Don't say that.
All right. Let me not say that.
Right. You might want to maybe September 8th or something like that. You know.
I'm trying to get into my fall. I'm getting into my like real like fall witchy vibe. So I gotta be outside because I need to get paid, you know, for my shit.
I'll help you with your aesthetic.
Please. They already told me I need to really like giving like, bitch, you need to dress the part. I said, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I got you. Just let me know. But I'm gonna get off this phone. If you have a blessed night, literally, just keep up the great work for real, bro. For real.
I love your soul.
Love you too. Be great, okay? I love you too.